All three men are facing fines and could receive up to life in prison if they're found guilty. So joining me now to help us break it all down and the overall landscape, right, of justice and policing, we're going to welcome attorney James Cook. He's a civil rights attorney. Attorney Cook, always a pleasure. We appreciate you. It's been a while since I've seen you, sir. So let's get right to business. Should we expect the officers to be found guilty of deprivation of rights for not giving medical aid to George Floyd when, 9 minutes, more than 9 minutes, Derek Chauvin had his knee on his back?
Well, what I didn't watch the trial extensively, but here's what you have to think about. There's a doctrine, a legal doctrine called the integral participant standard. All right, and under that doctrine, if you're an officer, if you are an integral participant, if you break down, you parse that phrase, integral and participant, then you have some liability, you have some guilt. So the question is were they integral to his his death ultimately? And when you talk about integrality, integral, we're talking about a situation where sometimes if you don't do something, if your failure to act can make you an integral participant. It can be a substantial factor, which ultimately led to the death of George Floyd.
Yeah.
So I can't make any predictions, but there it is for you.
Okay. Attorney Cook, we're going to stay with your state of Minnesota. Former officer Kim Potter, right?
Okay.
Who killed Daunte Wright. She was sentenced to 2 years behind bars.
Yes.
Some folks are calling that injustice. What does justice look like in a case like this?
In the case of Daunte Wright or the
Daunte
officers
Wright.
now being...
Daunte Wright, the officer who was sentenced, Kim Potter, 2 years.
Here's the issue. Usually you can expect people to do half of their sentence, if not a little bit less, and then there'll be some type of probationary terms. And I'm sure for the family of Daunte Wright and for the Minneapolis community that have been dealing with this inequitable policing that results in the death of people. These are these deaths that we know about are just the tip, but there's so many others. So that doesn't look like justice if it's only 2 years. And yeah, she can say that she made a mistake and there may be evidence that shows, but the issue is that these officers are trained. Right? They go through all post police officer standards and training, very specific procedures. So they're extensively trained. If they follow.
Attorney Cook, it seems your audio we're having some audio issues with you, sir. You're going in and out.
Okay.
I wish I could hear what you're saying. We're going to try to bring you back a little later on in the show, sir. So stand by.
Okay.